Hello and welcome back to PL2W Extra, and on today's agenda we've got the somewhat delayed IPL season for 2020. It's going to be full of vibrancy, full of the brilliant six-hitting nature we love from the IPL, but two things are missing. It's not in India and it's without the fans. Yes, the IPL's in UAE without fans this year. Roll titles. Now for a look at the squads. First of all, we start with last year's finalists and runners-up squad, CSK. Again, they've got the big names, they've got the big experienced names. This is a very Stephen Fleming thing to do, like MS Dhoni, Faf du Plessis, Shane Watson, Ravindra Jadeja, Kedar Jadhav, Dwayne Bravo, Imran Tahir, Deepak Chahar, Lungi Giri, with two new brilliant purchases, I think, Sam Curran and Piyush Chawla and Josh Hazelwood. Now, Varun, Aaron, do you want to, any opinions on their squad?
Yes, as a CSK fan, signing new players, because they are quite an old team, it's good for the future of their team, and hopefully it brings them. Hopefully they can win it this year.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. It's nice to see some new talent, some of which is from overseas, coming into the team to.
I think Sam Curran's great.
Yeah, I'd agree about Sam Curran being a really good signing for CSK, and like Varun said, they are otherwise more of an older squad. So I think them coming in will really help their future, but particularly in this season as well.
And now, moving on from one of the oldest teams to one of the youngest teams, last year's playoff makers, Delhi. They've got the young gun. They've got young Indian guns such as Prithvi Shaw, Shreyas Iyer, and Rishabh Pant, and Akshar Patel. And then they've also got that with the experience of players like Shikhar Dhawan, Amit Mishra, Kagiso Rabada, Ajinkya Rahane, Ravichandran Ashwin, Jason Roy, Chris Wokes, Alex Carey. And I think they've got two very good overseas players, actually, more additions. And they are Shimron Hetmyer and Marcus Stoinis. Anybody any opinions on that?
Yeah, they've got a good team this season. Made lots of good signings.
I'd agree after their performance last year, as you said, making it through to the playoffs. I think they've got a good chance this year.
Yeah, they'll definitely. I think they'll make it to the playoffs this year again.
Yeah, strong side.
I feel like they could win again. I mean, I reckon the final's going to be Delhi v Mumbai.
Ooh. Okay, we'll move on to that later. But now, moving on to our third squad of the day, from one of the highlights of last season, Delhi Capitals, to one of the, I don't know what you call it, but disappointments last season. Kings 11 Punjab, again finishing near the bottom of the table. But this year, they look like they have a good squad. But it's whether they can gel together as always. They've got KL Rahul, Mohammad Shami, Nicholas Puran, Majid Rahman, Chris Gale, Mandeep Singh, Hardus Villian, Mike Agarwal, Krishnappa Gautam, Glenn Maxwell, Sheldon Cottrell, James Neesham, Chris Jordan. It looks like a good core of players, and then it's about who can fill in, who can rest and rotate. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'd agree with that again. I think that it was a disappointment for them last year, but I do agree. I think they could come back this year and perhaps pull something off.
Yep.
I mean, were they last year? I don't think they were last year.
They weren't. RCB were last, which is sad for
RCB and Rajasthan Royals were last, I think.
Let's just check.
Yeah, Kings 11 Punjab. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of them, but...
they might not have come stone dead last, but I still don't think it was an amazing year for them.
I don't think they'll come into the playoff, but I think they'll get more points.
Yeah.
A few more points.
And then I think arguably one of the most strongest squads in this year's IPL, I'm tipping them to go all the way to the final. The KKR. They've got Dinesh Karthik, Andre Russell, Sunil Narayan, Kuldeep Yadav, Shubman Gill, Lockie Ferguson, Nitish Rana, Harry Gurney, Owen Morgan, Pat Cummins, Chris Green and Tom Banton. And they got the oldest player in the IPL, which is a surprise that CSK don't have him, but it's 48-year-old Pravin Tambe. What do you guys think of the KKR squad? I think it's brilliant.
I think it's a really good team as well. I think for them, Pat Cummins is a real standout, and I think they could go all the way. I'd agree with you.
He was bought in, Pat Cummins, for 15.5 crore. which is
Okay.
approximately like 15 million. Big
Okay.
money.
So
Pounds.
yes,
Lauren?
it's a good squad. I mean, yeah, Pat Cummins and yeah, he's a good signing, and they had a pretty strong squad last season, like Andre Russell, Cinnamon Ryan, Shipman Gill.
Yeah. Got
Yeah.
Shubman Gill in my fantasy team, by the way. Guys, if you haven't made a fantasy team, it's not too late now. Make a fantasy team and join the IPL fantasy. It really is brilliant.
Yeah, and Shipman Gill's quite a young player, so
Yeah, I
hopefully
have him in my fantasy team.
a strong start for
Yeah,
his career. Well, not he's 21, but
yeah, you know.
you get what I
And
mean.
now moving on to last year's defending champions, well, this year's defending champions, Mumbai Indians. They got, again, a very strong squad. All the teams in the IPL have a strong squad, but this squad, it's kept the same core as they have for years. Like Rohit Sharma, Hardik Pandya, Jasprit Bumrah, Kunal Pandya. And they've got some really good additions that they bought in a couple of seasons ago. Ishan Kishan, Surya Kumar Yadav, Rahul Chahar. The list goes on, and they've got brilliant overseas players as well, in the likes of Quentin de Kock, Kyron Pollard, Sharfane Rutherford, Trent Bolt, Mitchell McClenaghan, Chris Lynn, who they bought this year, Nathan Coulter-Line, who they bought this year.
Did they always have Trent Bolt?
Trent Bolt? I don't
I
think so.
think he played for Delhi last season.
Yeah, he did play for Delhi.
Yeah, that's a good signing.
They
No, but-
traded him in. It's a good signing, actually. Do you think they can defend their title? Because I don't think they can.
I don't think they will either. I think KKR will come through and pick them. A good squad, like you say, a solid core to the team that they have had for the past few seasons. But I think KKR with Pat Cummins and the new signings will go all the way.
Yeah.
Yes, Mumbai. I don't know. They were good last season. I don't know. I don't know if I can say that this season.
Yeah. And now moving on to the strongest squad, arguably, in the league, is Rajasthan Royals. Steve Smith, Sanju Samson, Jofra Archer, Ben Stokes, Josh Butler, Riyan Parag, Varun Aaron, Mayank Markanday, who I think is a smart purchase, Robin Uthappa, David Miller, Shane Thomas, Tom Curran, Andrew Ty. Listen, this squad is packed with quality. It's about time they deliver this year.
I'd agree. That really is an amazing team. I mean, there's lots of overseas talent, particularly from the England national team. I think they have a really good chance of pulling something off this year. In fact, looking at their squad, I think they could come above Mumbai Indians.
Yeah.
I think they have a better season than last time, but
Yeah, they should do. And now moving on to
strong squad.
And now moving on to our penultimate squad, which is my team. It's RCB. Again, we got a brilliant squad this season. We got Virat Kohli, Moeen Ali, Yuzvendra Chahal, AB de Villiers, Parthiv Patel, Gurpreet Man Singh, who's had a brilliant domestic season, Shivam Dubey, who's got his Indian call-up since the last IPL, Navdeep Saini, Washington Sundar, Aaron Finch, Chris Morris, Joshua Philippe, Kane Richardson, who's actually being replaced for Adam Zampa, and Dale Steyn. Listen, I think this is a really, really, really strong squad.
Yeah.
I'd agree. That is a really good team. What they'll do in the IPL this year with big squads
better than last season.
The Royals.
Yeah, everything's better than last season.
Yeah, but I mean, what we've looked at with squads for the Royals, for KKR and Mumbai, I think those three will probably finish a bit higher than them in the table this year, with Delhi Capitals perhaps pipping them to the post for one of the higher mid-table places.
I would disagree with that, but we're coming on to predictions after my last squad, and that's
SRH.
Again, it's a very solid squad. I wouldn't say it's boasting a huge overseas likes and huge spending squad of people like RCB and Rajasthan Royals, but this is a very top quality squad when you think about it. Kane Williamson, David Warner, Manish Pandey, Vijay Shankar, Rashid Khan, Mohammad Nabi, Johnny Bairstow, Rudiman Saha, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, Khalil Ahmed, Sandeep Sharma, Siddharth Kaul.
A very solid team.
Miriam Garg, who I would tip to make a good season this year if you're playing the IPL fantasy team. He captained India's under-19 team, I think, to the World Cup, actually. In the World Cup.
Yeah, solid team.
And then they've got good overseas players like Mitchell Marsh and Fabian Allen. What do you think?
I think it's a decently solid squad. In comparison to some of the other ones, how will they fare in the IPL this year? Not so sure. But it is a solid team.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now we're moving on to our IPL predictions. Predictions for the 2020 IPL season. Now we're going to work our way from 8th to 1st. So from the losers to the top. Now 8th place, who do you think it is? I'm going to throw it open. I'd say Punjab.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
Punjab in 8th.
Punjab last.
Punjab coming in last.
Kings 11 are trash.
And then who's going to come into 7th, do we think?
7th.
Rajasthan.
I would say Rajasthan a bit higher up, actually. Probably.
Wait, I need to check the teams. I forgot.
I would say Sunrisers.
No, Sunrisers have a good squad.
Sunrisers are good. I say Sunrisers will be 5th this year.
Okay. Let's
Sunrisers
put them in
into
5th.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think
I think
CSK.
Chennai. I think Chennai will be 2nd.
Yeah.
Does
I
everyone
think
agree?
KKR are going to be 1st.
I wouldn't agree with that, but okay.
I think CSK would be 3rd.
I think 3rd there.
3rd. CSK 3rd. I would personally say RCB 4th, but
RC
KKR 1st. Put KKR 1st. That's
KKR 1st. That's what I agree. I think they
Delhi Capitals 2nd.
2nd.
I was going to say 4th, but okay.
Nah, Delhi got a brilliant team. RCB 4th.
RCB 4th.
Mumbai Indians not qualified.
No, I'm sorry, I forgot about Mumbai Indians. I was gonna say
Mumbai Indians
Rajasthan
5th. I'd say.
but
I think it's gonna be Mumbai Indians and Sunrisers and draw.
yeah, so put Mumbai 6th and then Rajasthan 7th.
Mumbai 6th. Rajasthan 7th.
Right,
This is how I thought it would look, if I'm honest. But okay.
This isn't how I would like it to look. I like to have like an interesting finals, like CSK,
I think
Sunrisers,
I think
RCB,
the
and
Royals
Delhi.
need to be a bit higher up there with the squad they've got, to be fair.
Yeah, but I think they'll be better next season because all the signings need to get used to the team.
Yeah, but I personally think that that's a bit low for the Royals.
Well, listen, I don't think they're gelling as a team that well. Yeah, I think they've got brilliant squads, but I don't know how well they do as a team. So
Yeah, I think they'll come in the top 4 next season.
yeah,
Next season.
yeah.
Oh, Crystal Palace won.
So
Oh,
is
no
this,
points.
so
No
is
points.
this so is this where we're at then with our final IPL predictions?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, and that signed us off for this week. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and we've got some more interesting content coming quite regularly now because on our main channel of FIFA Mobile because of the event, and it's given us quite good players.
Yeah.
We do indeed, and with the Premier League starting back this weekend, we hope to bring you a lot of good content on the main channel in regards to that as well. Before we go, do put down in the comments whether you agree with our predictions for the IPL or whether you thoroughly disagree with them and we need to be gone from your eyesight forever. Hopefully that won't be the case, but for now, from us, it's goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yeah, and we should probably be looking forward to a football roundup on Tuesday or something for Premier League and stuff. So be tuned for that.
Yep, stay tuned and
from
from
us.
POW, goodbye.